if we trusted each other and were better people to each other, and had family units and community units, maybe 20 mothers could get together and then with a little bit of government assistance, pay one of them to be the nanny, or a couple, and take on and just this. But the communities have broken down, haven't they?
Getting to know a neighbor across the street or talking to someone. And that's one of the things you asked in your email about La Vida. I fell in love with that little town many, many years ago.
Okay. So it wasn't your first visit. Sorry.
No, it wasn't my first visit.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting because I hadn't been in a while. I hadn't been in a couple of years. The town itself has not grown. Parts of it has gentrified where people have down the old homes and built, behemoths. But which I like. But especially in a community like that, where it was
so pretty.
If I'm not mistaken, was the first incorporated town in the state of Colorado.
Seriously? That's cool.
It was railroad that was the thing.
Yep.
So that's where, and the homes, like the home I'm looking at was, or that I put an offer in last night. But
you did?
Yeah, I did. But I know. So it was built in 1914, has been redone. But Shaun, well, how do I explain? So when did I go down? I went down Friday. So Friday night, Saturday night, came back Sunday. So in my limited experience with being in town, because I stayed in Walsenburg, which is about 20 minutes away. So drove into La Vida, and my first feeling was, it feels like it felt before, which is a very friendly community. Curtis is his name, the real estate guy that's helping me. And so I talked to him a little bit, and I said, not to be judgmental of anyone in this town, but it's a little, it's 900 people. So the demographic is retirement, probably, mostly like my age, 55 and over, basically. Probably 99% white. I'm not sure about that.
Southern Colorado, my guess would be. But or Hispanic.
Or Hispanic,
but yeah.
Veda's this little pocket of difference, and what Curtis said to me was that he said, what happens here, and it's exactly what you were saying. He said what happens here is that it really does become a community. Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
I stopped at the little coffee house. It's the husband and wife that own it.
Good coffee? Oh, is that where you bought the sorry. Yeah. She talked
to me for 25 minutes about how people go to Walsenburg to shop at the grocery store because the market here is too expensive, blah blah blah. Just the whole thing. And I probably met 3 sets of couples who, said hi to me first, asked me how I was doing.
Just in the coffee shop?
Yeah.
Nice.
He said, if you come down here, we'll see you again. And then what Curtis told me is that, because the street that I'm moving to is a gravel road, Main Street is paved. A lot of the streets, the side streets where homes are still gravel. And so he said, Di, he said, it's, about 100 inches of snowfall in the winter. And he said, you'll find that a lot of your neighbors are going to have plows on the front of their truck, and if you wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning, your gravel street might already be plowed, because that's what people do. And if you had a problem or a concern, you can feel comfortable talking to your neighbors, and that politically it's not going to come out that you're, vastly different and that you hate each other. Because first of all, we're people.
So they allow that conversation, and they accept that difference.
Exactly. So it's a beautiful thing, and the town is lovely, and it's enough of a tourist trade to keep Main Street galleries and restaurants and that sort of thing, but it's also very down to earth and very just nice people. And it was awesome to feel that, to say, good, I'm going to become part of this, because in my urban area, across the street from me the other day, there was a couple, Hispanic, and the woman was getting inside her SUV, and the man, whoever came in, he was knocking on her window, and he called her a bitch and I heard it all the time in the restaurant business. Basically a bitch in Spanish. I forget the pendeja.
Oh. Yeah.
And so I was like, dude, come on. But anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I digress. But anyway, that's what's exciting for me about La Vida, because I'm at a place in my life where I'm just, as I was driving back to Denver, I was like, I'm just done with this city, man. I'm done. I'm done. So.
Yeah, we cast our eyes often north. But if we go north, like, for the same reason, I mean, you're more kind of clued up and prepared to make the move. We're not in that position, but the only thing is, if we move north, we're going to need a southern residence too, because the winters in the north, while we enjoy winter, but probably by the time you get to the end of January, it might be nice to fly south for a few months. Yeah, but we love the mountains and the green and that's associated with. But yeah, we've got friends that have experience from north, and they're like, gosh, in the winter it can be windy and cold and bleak.
And the Front Range is cool because you get snow and then the next day it's sunny.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot to be said for that. So, and La Vida is at 7,000 feet.
So it's not too high.
And I lived in Vail for a while. I think that's 8,000 some.
Yeah.
So I will appreciate the not 95 degree summers. So there most of the things about it, I'm like, oh, right on. I'll be part of this, and it'll be awesome. And that's how I want to live out the rest of my days. So at least that's my opinion now.
That's one thing I say. Never say never, except to cigarette smoking, because that's always bad.
I like that perspective.
Yeah, never, open mind, open heart. Never say never, because probably not. That's fine. I don't have intentions to. That's fine. Although I will never smoke a cigarette. Although I do admit, when I was a kid, I smoked some, but I was just dumb. What's that?
I smoked cigars for a time.
Oh, see, I tried at my brother's wedding and things like that, and it's like, it's so dense. I can't even. But it was insane. The cigarettes, the cigar. Yeah, 72 there on.
Let's do question 2.
Question.
I didn't number them, but.
No. So question 1 I had was, remind me of my commitment. Should I sign today based on the date, null and void after today? So we changed that. Should the offer for my home in La Vida not go through, will we be able to walk away? So here's the thing on this. You can walk away after the date. However, I will be committing to making sure that we have available funds for this. So even if it takes 3 months, I would like a commitment from you, I guess, verbally or in writing that, just an email. Look, I get it. You're committing money, and I'm happy to push this forward, and we'll just set a date, and we can always change that. But I'm happy to alter the date in the future if I haven't found a house, and we're good with that. We don't buy hundreds of properties. We find one we want to buy, and so if it did take 3 months, I'm okay with that. I would be, I can't stop you, but I'd be upset if in 3 months you were like, look, I've changed my mind, and I'm going to sell this to Bob because, he's cool.
And I think the only thing that I was worried about that, because I suspect they're going to accept my offer That's what Curtis said. It's been on the market for a while, and
Mm.
they want to they want to sell it. They just dropped it by 10,000 not too long ago. So
Okay.
definitely are so. And I
Mm.
probably will find out. My guess is I'll find out sometime today or early tomorrow
Wow.
if they're going to accept the offer, and then
Are you nervous?
I'll be moving forward. Yeah,
Excited? Anxious?
I'm all of those.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because, in fact, the person who I dated, he cycled competitively.
Yep.
He was also a ski instructor, so he lived up in
Heck.
Keystone for all of his adult.
Keystone?
Yeah.
That was the first place I ever lived in America. When I was like 18 years old, I left college for a year, took a year off, and I was a lift operator in Keystone, Colorado.
That's where he was. And
Yeah.
So he ski instructed, and then in the summer he came down to Denver and cycled. But so we stayed in touch just a little bit, and I reached out to him last November to say happy birthday. He said he had just moved to a place called Cambria, California, which is Central Coast. He sent me some pictures of it, and he opened a cycling cafe. So it's like a cycling coffee house, and I'm not sure how that all works, but so he said, so we've been kind of like going back and forth, and he said, if anything, because I mentioned to him, I said, I'm sick of this city, I want to make a change, I feel like I can do it now, and it's a perfect time. And he said, my advice is, if you want to do something, do it. If the change doesn't bring up a little bit of fear, then perhaps you're not, changing enough. So it's an interesting way to look at it, because he's like, I miss the mountains and the snow so much, but it is so amazing in California. And he said, I never would have, 10, 15, 20 years ago, he said, I never would have thought that I'd end up in Central Coast, California. That kind of spurred me on to say, okay, dreams can come true, and I'm in a